everyone. Thanks for watching this presentation. My name's Corco. I'm the CEO and a director of Sitka Gold Corp. It's just a forward-looking statement we have on all of our presentations. So the company overview. This is a new junior explorer. It IPO'd in 2018 and is listed on the CSE. It has an experienced management team with track record of past discoveries, mine production, and shareholder success. It's formed by the previous founders of Tundra Copper Corp, which was sold 18 months after inception for a significant return to shareholders. The company is targeting gold, silver, and copper properties that meet proven criteria upon which shareholder value can be created. Some of this criteria is that it's got to be in friendly mining jurisdictions, the asset has to have good infrastructure, and there has to be producing or proven multi-million ounce deposits in the geological province that the property is in. Currently, Sitka Gold has 5 properties with significant upside potential, 4 of which are being drilled during this year. Properties are the Burrow Creek Gold Silver Deposit in Arizona, the RC Gold Project in Yukon, the Alpha Gold Project in Nevada, and the OGI Silver Zinc Gold Property in the Yukon. We also have the Copper Mine River Project in Nunavut. This is the corporate team. Myself, I'm a professional geologist, a mining engineering technologist, and a gemologist. I've put 2 mines in production and been credited with a 2 million ounce gold deposit in the past. Don Penner, the president, also a professional geologist, and the rest of the team here, very seasoned, successful explorationists. Essentially, you're looking at 150 years plus experience in mining exploration here on the board. Our share capital, we have 56 million shares outstanding, a market cap of around 12 million, and we're trading right around 20 cents. Burrow Creek Gold Property, this is our flagship property. This property was going to go into production in the 1980s. The company shelved it when the price of gold started sliding. It was fully permitted. It was within a couple months of actually starting to turn the pit. For us, fortunately, it's still there intact. This vein is up to 40 meters wide. This picture here was taken in 1988. I happened to be the project manager at the time. That's my truck there that you see in the center of the photo. So I know the property very well. It's in a very friendly mining jurisdiction in Arizona. It's just a mile off the interstate highway. It's got a long history of mining in the area, and it's road accessible. Burrow Creek overview. This is a low sulfidation epithermal gold silver vein deposit. It includes zones of bonanza grades as well. There is a historical 43101 report estimate that estimates 5 million ounces of silver and 120,000 ounces of gold in the indicated and inferred categories. This deposit is open laterally and at depth. As I mentioned, permitted to go into production in the late 1980s, but got shelved when the price of gold slid. The last work done on the property was soil sampling that created a gold and silver anomaly that stretched the projection of the strike of the vein for 1.5 kilometers to the south. We went in there and drilled 10 holes in April and verified that this vein is actually persistent through the mountain, and it's just covered by a fine, thin veneer of volcanic rock. So our estimate is only about 5% of this vein has been drilled. This just shows the historical resource that I just mentioned there, what the grades are. You're looking at over 1 gram in the indicated category for gold and 36 grams for silver. This was the program done by the previous operators that confirmed the historical deposit grades, and again shows some very significant grades of up to 32 grams per ton gold there. This was the historical pit design that was going to be mined, but it never did get mined. And in that pit you had about 1.2 million tons of rock that was classified as ore in those days and is still in existence. This just shows the gold and silver anomaly done by the soil geochem survey, and that whole area there is what we're focused on to increase this tonnage. This is just where our drill holes went. We went to the edge of our private property there, which contains the historical deposit, and are currently waiting for our BLM permits to continue drilling to the south for another kilometer. This is some of our results from this year: 41 meters of 1.15 grams per ton gold and 51.3 grams per ton silver. So The vein is persistent with carrying gold and silver going to the south. So it's got excellent logistics with the road, main highway just a mile away, and the actual resources on private property. The project we've been focused on for the last few months is the RC Gold Project in the Yukon. It's a district scale land package with several intrusion related gold targets, and it's located in the heart of the Tintina Gold Belt in the Yukon. This area was difficult to explore in the past, but a new road was put in there by a placer miner and basically cut through the entire claim block and made exploration much more cost effective. Previous rock samples on the property have come up to 319.5 grams per ton gold, and some soil samples over 4,000 ppb. So we've targeted some of these areas where we've got high soil anomalies and high-grade rocks on the surface. This shows the location of the RC Gold Project. It's a contiguous package that encompasses 345 square kilometers. You can see Victoria Gold's Eagle Mine, Banyon's property that they've just recently announced their initial resource on, and Golden Predator's Brewery Creek property. This just shows the acquisitions that are underlying the RC Gold Project. The Motin increased our land position by tenfold, and you can see to the north is AM Gold's property that has a 2 million ounce gold deposit estimate on it, and it surrounds Victoria Gold's Clear Creek property to the west. This is some of the soil anomalies that have been developed over the last couple of years, and some of our targets that we drilled this year included what you're seeing here. There's many additional targets from the Motin acquisition that we are looking at and will be following up on next year. Again, this just shows previous work on one of our underlying properties that we have put some drill holes in this year that had phenomenal soil sample grades on the surface of like over 500 ppb anomalies in several parts of that property that you can see in pink here. So we did some LiDAR last month and we're waiting for the results, but we focused on the areas that we consider high priority for identifying the structural controls that you need to understand to target these intrusion-related gold deposits. And this shows our drill holes that we did on the Saddle Zone, Egger Zone, the Far Grid Zone, and the Big Creek Zone. You see by the scale here, we're talking about an area that's over 10 kilometers in length. These holes are scattered, some of them are 6 kilometers apart. We also followed up with our first deep drill hole at our Alpha Gold property in Nevada. This property is right in the heart of the Carlin District, and this was the first drill hole to test our geological concept that the lower plate was preserved there and that the structural intersection between the Cortez Trend, which already has identified over 50 million ounces of gold hosted in 3 different deposits, where it intersects the Valley Anticline limestone unit in the lower plate is where this could be a perfect environment for a Carlin type deposit. So we drilled one hole down there, went 1,700 feet deep. It deflected, but it did return anomalous gold that we believe is leakage from the lower plate limestone unit that we were targeting and could represent a buried Carlin type deposit. So we're looking at the data and figuring out what we're going to do for the second hole there. That's just the location map. And again, this area, it's well known, it's the second richest area on the planet. Over 200 million ounces of gold have been defined in that area. There's 30 producing mines. You're just in the most fertile environment for a mega gold deposit that you could possibly be in. This map is just the cartoon map that shows these elephant icons are just the big deposits, and you can see some of them are 20, 30 million ounce deposits. But the Cortez Trend, where it intersects the Garden Valley Anticline, that is our target area. This just shows it in more detail why we like that property. Cross section. This was our conceptual geological model, and the first drill hole proved that model is intact, and that the lower plate Devil's Gate carbonate unit that host these Carlin type deposits does exist. This just shows our first drill hole, and where we got gold, anomalous gold, we had high mercury as well, which is one of the indicators for Carlin type deposits, and we believe this is leakage from the lower plate limestone unit. And then the OGI property, it's a different target. It's a kilometer north of Brewery Creek's gold deposit in the Yukon. There's a soil anomaly that's been outlined there that runs almost an ounce in silver and 0.5% zinc in the soils. It's about 250 meters wide and 750 meters long. We're just completing 4 drill holes to test that and see if we potentially have a SEDEX type strata-bound deposit there. So we couldn't pass this up. It was a little different than focused just on gold, but we believe because of the rocks there, the Highland group, they host some pretty impressive deposits like Howard's Pass, and this definitely could be something big. So we've just finished packing up our first drill program there. Just discussed this. It shows you the proposed drill holes. Well, they're pretty much complete now. And then our Coppermine River project up in Nunavut. It's another district scale land position, or over 50,000 hectares, and potentially could host a strata-bound copper deposit similar to some of the mega billion-pound deposits that we see around the world. And by the way, this is through our wholly owned subsidiary Arctic Copper Corporation. We own this property outright. There's no underlying royalties there at all. It's all mining claims. We found this showing and we sampled it, and it ran over 13% copper and 65 grams per ton silver. We subsequently went in there and ran some gravity surveys over it, and we ended up with a gravity anomaly about 100 meters wide right underneath this. And last year we went back and we ran some parallel lines north and south of it. And this is a large anomaly that we're pretty excited about, but it's not our primary focus right now, although it could be very significant if copper has its day in the sun again. We also have high-grade copper hosted in the volcanics of up to over 40% copper that could just be sacked and sent right to the smelter. So in summary, Sitka is a recently listed junior mining exploration company. It's got seasoned and successful management and board of directors, and they're highly aligned with the shareholders' interests with their own share positions, and an excellent portfolio of properties in stable and reliable mining jurisdictions. And again, our Burrow Creek property, it's our flagship property primarily because it already has a historical resource of 5 million ounces of silver and 120,000 ounces of gold, and a lot of potential for expansion. The Alpha Gold property is a much higher risk property, but the rewards are amazing if you hit one of these Carlin type deposits. The RC Gold project is developing into a mega project and has a lot of exciting potential intrusion related targets on it. That is going to take more work, but we're eagerly looking forward to the results from our first drill holes, which should be coming in the next few weeks. The OGI property, as I mentioned, it's a different animal. It's a strata-bound SEDEX type target, and we just are completing that drill program, and we'll see what happens with the results on that. So the recent work and future plans that Sitka Gold has, well, we've completed our first deep drill hole at Alpha Gold. We're pretty happy with the fact that we've got some sniffs of gold with coincident high mercury assays, and believe that endorses our model that there could be a Carlin type deposit below us there. At the RC property, we've finished 1,500 meters of drilling, 6 drill holes over about a 10-kilometer area, and we just have completed a 44 square kilometer LiDAR survey, which we don't have the results from yet either. But we're fairly comfortable that we're going to be going back next year with a much larger phase 2 drilling program. The OGI property, we just finished the RAB drilling, and we'll see what happens with the results from that. So that's about it. Thanks for watching this, and if you need any more information, just call me or visit our website.